Hey everybody, I was not planning on doing a video tonight, but just after some of the things going on lately in social media, I wanted to address some of the behavior that we show towards our fellow IHers. And so the topic of this video is supporting one another. Um, First of all, I just want to say, we are, us IHers, we are a community. We have been forced into this community by this devastating, life-changing disease. So, whether we like it or not, we understand each other on a level that other people who don't have this disease don't. So we really need to quit putting each other down and start supporting one another. We want acceptance from everybody else in our lives, but we need to start with ourselves, with each other, because we can be nasty to one another, and it's really sad to watch. We need to, we need to quit belittling one another, because it's done more often than you may think or realize. We have people who, we're all at a different stage in this disease. And there are some of us who cannot. Some people cannot work. Some people cannot have a family. Some people have to live with their parents or their relatives. And it's really hurtful when others are telling them, well, hey, maybe you should just get a job, or maybe you should move out on your own. That's not always possible. I can tell you that, I hear a lot of the time. I hear this so much. I don't want this disease to run my life or control my life. And I understand that, and I agree with that. But I think it's been twisted into something entirely different than what it should mean. There are some IHers, their cases are mild. They can work 50 plus hours a week. Some people have to work to support their families, and they just work through the pain. And that's fine. I mean, we're all different. Our situations are all different. But don't look down on the IHer who is unable to work. Don't think you're better than them. Nobody's better than anybody else. And so, when somebody tells you that they can't work, that they're on, government help, that they have to live with family and friends in order to help support them, don't look down on them. Don't belittle them, because sometimes that's the only option people have. I realize there are the ones who, maybe they're single parents. Maybe they have an elderly family member that they're responsible for, and they have to work, so they have no choice. But on the same end of that spectrum, some of the people who don't work, they don't have any other choice either. We've all been at different stages through this disease. We've been laid up because of surgery. We've been physically unable to move because of the pain. And we've all experienced something like that. Even if you haven't had any surgery, I mean, you still know what the pain is like. There are some people out there who their doctors don't address their pain, so they really have it bad. There are people who they can't find the right doctors because, they're in a rural area. Doctors don't know much. I mean, I drive 4 hours one way to see my doctors. So, and I know people who have to drive further than that. You know, don't judge somebody based on what treatment they decide to try or don't try. You know, some people are adamant against not getting a shot, and that's okay. You know, don't try to persuade them that, you know, they're not doing the right thing, that they should just try it, because they don't help everybody. Some people, which I'm one of them, I am very against uh, the eye surgery, the fenestration. I would never want my eyes to be operated on. And that is just my personal preference. I mean, it might help, but I'll never know because I'll never have it done. And that's okay. You know, some people don't want to be on narcotic pain medication, and that's okay. You know, they have their reasons, they have their preferences. So, no one course of action is the right way or the best way. Um, Different treatments, you know, they work for different people. Some people, you know, we just have to find what works for us. But we just have got to stop all the bullying that goes on in this IH community. Because, like I said, we want so hard for people to understand us. And, you know, we want so much to be validated in our disease. But we need to stop and look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what are we doing to each other? Because change starts with us. So, I mean, if you're putting, you know, it's okay to disagree. You know, we're not all always going to get along. The world would be boring if we did. So, people do not have to agree with each other to support each other. You know, we can have our differences of opinion and not be rude and belittling about it. You know, how boring would that be if everybody walked around like droids, you know, who all thought the same thing, all said the same thing? Come on, how boring would that get? Pretty boring, pretty fast. You know, another thing about working, after my 5th brain surgery, you know, I felt relatively good, a lot better than what I had been feeling. So, you know, I wanted to try and get a job. But I found out real fast that, you know, employers don't always want to hire people with medical issues like we have. Because, I mean, let's face it, we can be unreliable. You know, emergency room visits pop up, surgeries get scheduled, and some employers, I can understand, would see that as, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I mean, I do. The opposite of a liability. There we go. I can see where employers could see us as a liability. And, you know, so there's all different reasons for people's different situations. You know, depending on their insurance. Some treatments might not be covered. Some treatments require prior authorization from the insurance company. So you don't know people's stories, you know, you don't know every detail. You shouldn't assume either, because a lot of things, you know, are out of our control or out of other people's control. And we are all just trying to make the best out of the bad situation that we've been put in. And like I said, the change starts with us. So before you start to judge somebody about their specific situation, you know, why are they living with their parents? Why? We gotta stop. Because we're not helping anybody. And, you know, we want to be supported by everyone. We need to start with supporting each other. So, that is my video for tonight. I hope it didn't sound too harsh, but I think it needed to be said too. So, Give me a thumbs up at the bottom of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. And I will see y'all in a few days. Alright, bye.